Hello again, teachers. This is John over in Educational Technology. And in this tutorial, we're going to talk about kind of a small little bit of information in Google Jamboard. And actually, this will help you out on a lot of different platforms, including Google Slides, called order, kind of like object order. And I'm going to give you a couple examples of how this is important and how to work around it and how to use it to your advantage. But basically, order is like think of it like pieces of paper. So if I have different colors of piece of paper, so I've got green, red, and purple, and I stack those pieces of paper on top of each other. If you're looking at those from the top down, the only one you'll see is whatever's on top. So if I put the purple paper on top, all you would see is purple. You wouldn't see the red piece of paper unless you moved the other colors, if that makes sense. So everything you're looking at when you're on a Jamboard, or everything you add onto a Jamboard, goes in an order. And typically that order is just, whatever's first is in the back, whatever's second is on top of that, whatever you add in next is on top of that, and it layers. Now, even it doesn't matter how many layers you have, whether it's 1 or 100, you can move them. It's just they're just not visual to say I want to move this one here. So a lot of times it's like move backwards one, move backwards again, or move to the front or move to the back. So you've got options like that. Now, I've got three examples here to kind of give you guys an illustration. First, let's start off up here at the top. So let's say you're getting fancy with your Jamboard and you're kind of using shapes to design just a look or to point something out to your students. So I drew a green bar here and I drew a red triangle here. And again, for anybody not totally familiar with that, I used the tools right here. I used the square, and then I used the triangle, and then I used the colors up here to do that. Now, it looks funny, right? Because I actually started with my red my red triangle, and it looks a little funny because I created that first, then I created the green triangle, and now the green triangle is on top. So if I want to make this look a little better, you guys just click on, you're just going to click on one of your objects, and you notice you get these three little dots in one of the corners, usually top right, but sometimes it moves down to the bottom right. If you click on that, you got a couple options here. Duplicate, which is obviously very useful if you need to make something that looks and feels exactly like another one, so you're cloning it. Delete, which obviously you could just hit delete, but there's another option right there, or order. So this is where you got to start thinking about, okay, where exactly do I need this or want it if it needs to be moved? In this case, if I want the red on top, I have two options. Either I click on the triangle, go to order, and change this to bring to front, or I click on the green rectangle, go to the three dots, go to order, and then send to back. Either way should give me the result of what I want, and that is what I want. So that's one example. The next example is down here on the left-hand side, and what I did is I created three post-it notes. So three, I think they just call them notes actually, sticky notes, sorry. They have three sticky notes, and technically I want students to do the activity and then move the sticky note out of the way. So three nouns, so they would erase that or just hit enter and then type their three nouns. So they type their three nouns, they click on save, and then they're going to move it. Ah, look at that. Now there's another one. So now the next one says list three verbs here. Then they could do that activity and again move it until they finally get to the third one that says stop. And maybe that's where I say, okay, that's where I want you guys to just wait for me or wait for the rest of the class before I move on. Now you notice as I move this, obviously the red is behind the yellow. So you could create something like that where they move it like a stack to drill down into the stack to see what's coming up next. You can change the order. So let's just say that I wanted this to be opposite. I would go to my pink sticky note, three dots, and change the order to bring to front. So now it is in the front. And then the next one would be yellow, which is totally fine. So I'm just going to leave that there. By the way, notice as I drag this, unfortunately, we don't have guide markers, which would like snap it on top of each other. So I'm just kind of eyeballing it the best I can. It's not going to be perfect, but you're going to just have to do the best you can. And then say I want green in the very back. Right now it is in front of yellow. So if I click on green, order, send to back, now I can recreate my stack like so. So I just kind of reversed the order of my stack. Okay, the last example is a lot of times we do digital worksheets like this where maybe we need to block out words that they need to figure out or guess. So I'm going to do land and water. Now if I drag this on top, you notice that's not what I want. That's just highlighting the word. I want this to actually cover the land, and the same thing here. Now that being said, if I want to put this on top, same thing. 3 dots, go to order. In this case, again, you could bring forward, but depending upon how many layers, you may or may not get exactly what you want. In this case, I can just bring it straight to the front. Now it's going to cover land. Done. Same thing for water. Click the 3 dots, order, bring to front, and then cover it. And this is something where you could assign it to students. Otherwise, if we're doing this as a group activity, I wait for them to give me the answer, and then we reveal it to ensure, yes, they are correct. It is a piece of land surrounded by water. So I hope that helps everybody out. Again, this tutorial was just about order, which can be used for sticky notes, boxes, images, shapes. Whatever you add onto your Jamboard has an order that you can change around to get the look and feel you want. So hope that helps you out, and until next time, we'll see you soon. And remember, you cannot be an analog teacher in a digital world. See you soon.